Good morning and happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday. How we all doing this morning? Running a few minutes late this morning. I apologize. Hopefully all y'all are having a good morning. Hopefully. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Tammy. How are you this morning? Happy Monday to you. Good morning. Good morning, Vicki. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Like I said, running a few minutes late this morning, so finally got on here. Good morning, Jen. How are you? Good morning, Martha. Happy Monday. 35 degrees. Could be warmer. Yeah, it's actually not as bad here, but I think it was because of all the cloud cover we had. Good morning, coolest dad. How are you? Did you make it back from your sons, or are you still visiting? Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Darby. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Joseph. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Good morning, Donna. How are you? 64 in Texas. Nice. Yeah, I think it warmed up a little bit, and I don't know. I was talking to somebody yesterday in Colorado, and I don't know why, but I have a feeling this. Good morning. I have a feeling that this winter is going to be a little cold. I don't know why, but good morning, ribbons. I made it back. Spent a lot of time at the airport. No fun, coolest dad. No fun. Glad you made it back safe. Glad you made it back safe. Good morning, Gracie. How are you? Good morning. So I got a few orders completed this weekend. I worked on Christmas mug rugs. I'll be shipping out an order today, so that one goes for another order. So isn't that cute? Good morning, Deidre. Sorry. Yes, I'm ready for some fun. So like I said, I got some Christmas koozies. I'm getting shipped out today. This morning I got because I had a request for 4 of the witches. So these are kind of cool. I kind of did a little different background on them. So good morning, Irie. Good morning. So did a little bit of a different background on these, but I kind of like how they turned out. This morning. So but anyway, so I'll get those shipped out today. I'll get all these shipped out today. I got all my, I've got microwave bowl koozies that I'm working on. So I posted a thing on those. So I'm going to get those all cut out, get those all shipped out. This morning, what are we doing this morning? So this morning we are making a quilted handbag, y'all. We are making a quilted handbag, and I think we're going to have some fun because we're adding a zipper to that. And I think we decided we were going pink because there's pink inside of the, I wish they wouldn't put staples. So either way, if you, I actually have both options to ship UPS or post office. So I can do either way. I finally got signed up to do, so with my, like if I do like a smaller, so if I do like one of these, I'll do the postal. If I do my quilts, anything big, good morning, Karen, anything big or anything, I prefer UPS. Good morning, Miss Lisa. I'll prefer UPS on there. So, but I don't know. I've had a package lost with the postal service, y'all. Literally, I shipped a package. It was supposed to go to Tennessee. It left here and went to Phoenix. Okay, it's supposed to go to Phoenix from here. And then from there, it went, where did it go? I'm trying to remember, Lisa. It went to Guam. Yes, it went to Guam. I'm like, what the heck is it doing in Guam? So then from Guam, it went to Honolulu. And then in Honolulu, it went on a cruise, y'all. It went on a cruise. You are very welcome, Deidre. Do you use your... I did. So I did do my podcast. But anyways, let me finish my story and I'll tell you about the podcast. So I ended up doing, so it ended up on a cruise. So out there on a cruise, and y'all, it stayed on a cruise for 6 months and then finally delivered. So, which was kind of aggravating because I ended up having to end up paying for the items twice. And yeah, anyways, whole nightmare story. But anyways, we're not going to go there. So, yes. So Saturday I did my podcast. Yes, Cynthia, it finally delivered. So yeah, it finally delivered. Kind of aggravating because I ended up paying for it twice. But anyways, whole nother story. So did my podcast this weekend. That was a lot of fun, y'all. That was a lot of fun. Did not realize did not realize that the podcast will not play till December. They said early December. So they said first or second week of December is when my podcast will air. So I'm excited. I think it went fairly well. I think it went fairly well. And there was a bonus. So they asked me at the first of it, they're like, tell me one thing that nobody knows about you. Y'all want to know what that one thing was? I can tell you if you want me to, or you can wait for the podcast. Let me know. Let me know, because that was kind of fun. Anyways, so we're going to get going here. We are going to get going, and we're going to start making this quilted handbag. So, because we got to get it quilted first. First thing first, we got to tell you. Okay, Gracie, I'll tell y'all. So, okay, I'm going to tell y'all. So, back in the day, right after I graduated high school, I took a year off of college. So, what did I do in that year? Y'all, I had a 1966 Mustang that did not run. So, what did I do? I had a 1971, I had a old Falcon out in the pasture in the boneyard. So, and it had a running engine. It had a 171 in it. So, what did I do? I went and pulled the engine out of that Falcon, completely rebuilt that engine, dropped it in, pulled the engine that was seized out of the Mustang, dropped that engine in there, bolted up transmission, completely rebuilt the carburetor, installed all new parts, and y'all, I got that car running. So needless to say, yes. So one of those things where, I could work on cars. I'm more or less, the biggest domesticated housewife you've ever seen. So before I started working, I could work on cars. I hunt, I fish, I make I make dough, I make cookies, I bake, I make lasagna. I made my husband jackets for the coal mine. So needless to say, so that was a little sneak peek that nobody knew about nobody knew about me, y'all. Just saying, nobody knew about me. So anyway, so quilted handbag we're making today, and welding caps. Yes, and welding caps, y'all, and welding caps. Okay, so we made this block the other day. So I had, and I think y'all are right. We're going to do a pink zipper on her. We're going to do a pink zipper because y'all asked because we did a quilted handbag last week. And on that handbag, we didn't add pockets and we didn't add a zipper or anything to it. So today we are going to be adding pink zipper. So we're going to be adding a pink zipper. We're going to be adding a lining with the pockets on the inside. So we're going to get all that done. First thing first is thank you, Shannon. Good morning. How you feeling, Miss Shannon? Y'all, we need to send some good vibes to Miss Shannon. She had a couple surgeries and we need to send her some good vibes. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and good morning, Kelly. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I did find, but I don't think that one's big enough. No, that one is not big enough. So what we need to do first off is I got a couple pieces of batting. So what we're going to do is we're taking sandwich these battings. We're going to go on over to the sewing machine and we're going to get these quilted. Yes, we need to send her some good vibes. Good vibes for Miss Shannon. Okay. We're going to get these. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the roses. All right. So we're going to get these all sandwiched. And I know, Miss Lisa asked me the other day, she goes, you really like that variegated thread. Yes, I do. Yes, I do like the variegated thread. So I have some purple and green. I'll see what y'all think about it. I will see what y'all think about that one. So let's head on over to the sewing machine and let's get a stitching because we are going to quilt this. We're going to get it quilted. Just as a reminder, y'all, I am live right now also over on the YT. So just as an FYI, you can view me on either platform there. View me on either platform. Okay, so let's take this over here and let's get it quilted. Let's get it quilted, y'all. We're gonna go on a turnabout here and get a new bobbin. Move my chair. Ah, let's see if I can do this here. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Okay, so I'm gonna turn y'all around. Turn y'all around there. Come a little closer. Come a little closer. Come a little closer. Get a drink of coffee. Get a drink of coffee. Okay. So we need. Doesn't really matter what the bobbin color is because the back of this bag is gonna. Oh, I need to lower my chair. Lower, lower, lower. Okay. So yeah. Anyways, it doesn't matter what color the bobbin is because the back of that bag is not gonna show. The back of the bag is not gonna show. I'm moving y'all just a little bit. Get y'all a little closer. Get y'all a little closer, and I need to turn the light down on the back of there. Doom, doom. Where are you at, light? I always forget what page the light was on. I was updating software on my machines this weekend too, so I got that done. There it is. I think not that one. That one's fine. That's the one. Okay, there we go. Is that better? I may have sent you. All right, Miss Cynthia. All right, that works. That works. Okay, so first thing we got to do is we got to put that quilting foot on. We got to put the quilting foot on there. So we're going to go over to sewing. Scoot on over. Scoot on over. So you have the option is you can actually remove the embroidery attachment. Y'all, I embroider way too much to remove that attachment, and I kind of like the big, huge, flat platform that it gives you with it on there. So I leave it on there. I leave it on there. So first thing we got to do is we got to put that quilting foot on. We got to put the quilting foot on. So, and I'm throwing. Y'all, I was using the big clips this weekend. I have to show you because I got Miss Susan's quilt finally quilted, y'all. I ended up having to seam rip a whole roll on that quilt, so because it had some double batting in it, and I was having issues. And y'all, it looks gorgeous, but oh my gosh, that was not easy, y'all. That was not easy. Okay, so we're gonna get that in there, and just as a reminder, I know I always tell you guys, but take your screwdriver and just do a tight, just a little bit of a cinch. Not really tight, but just a little. Because you don't want to cinch it down too much. You don't want to cinch it down too much. There we go. There we go. Don't pop out of there. Stay in there. I was having issues with that, and it was like popping out on me, and I don't want it to pop out. Okay, there we go. Is that good, guys? Okay, so we are going to do some quilting. So my thread choice. Okay, let me show y'all my thread choice because I think y'all might get excited about this one. I got excited about it because I saw that and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a perfect thread choice. Perfect thread choice. So we're gonna put this there. But y'all, hello. It's green and it's purple. Is that not perfect? I'm sorry. I'm saying it's perfect. I'm saying it's perfect, y'all. So we're gonna trim that thread up top, pull that down. Hello, yes, right? I'm telling you. And yeah, I'm kind of addicted to the variegated thread. I love the variegated thread, y'all. I can't help myself. We're gonna get this all threaded. Get this a threaded, just keep a thread. Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday. I hope all y'all had a good weekend. Actually went on a side-by-side this weekend. Maybe I'll post some videos of it. So it was cool. Thank you, Donna. So kind of cool. So we have this all sandwiched, and I have a little bit on the outside. Just gives me the option to be able to quilt all the way to the edge. Some people quilt. Get in there. Quit coming up. Stay down. Okay. Some people quilt from the middle out. Can you explain variegated thread? Oh, no, absolutely, Miss Kelly. Let me grab another one that's variegated thread. Okay, so let me turn y'all. So variegated thread. So as you see this thread, and I'm going to grab another one that's not. Okay, so see this thread? It only has one color. On it. So this thread, as you can see, it's got multiple colors on it. It has multiple colors on it. So with a variegated thread, what happens is as it goes down, so this one goes like to a, it's like a pink and a purple and a blue. It has all kinds of different colors, and it'll go through all the colors, and then it'll start again. So it's just a variegated of different colors. So it's like variegated yarn. Yeah, it's just like variegated yarn too. So, but multiple colors on that on the thread. So, and please, y'all, ask all the questions you want. I love answering questions. You are very welcome, Miss Kelly. Always willing to help out. You can find variegated thread all kinds of places. So fun. If you have a local quilt shop, go check your local quilt shops out, y'all. Go check your local quilt shops out. Okay, so let's turn back of this way. I think right there is good. When you purchase variegated thread, do you buy it one color at a time? It depends, Grace. It depends. Like the other day, I bought like 3 different things of thread. So most of the time, I don't know if I've ever seen variegated thread in a bundle. I'm not sure if I ever seen it in a bundle. Usually I'll go and be like, okay, that'll look cool on what I'm working on. Good morning, Miss Amy. Or this will look cool on what I'm working on. So I don't know. I just go and I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I'll do something with that. Thank you for the heart, me. So anyways, let's get to stitching, y'all. So I'm just gonna do a just a meander. So thanks for the repost. You have great. Thank you, Gracie. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna get stitching, y'all. So I have it stitched on, and I'm gonna move this to the medium. I have this. Always choose about a medium speed. You don't want to go too slow, but yet you don't want to go too fast when you're stitching. So, like I said, I think we're gonna do a bigger. We're gonna do a little bit bigger. Good morning, Renee. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start stitching. So I think we're gonna go a bigger meander here. So you have a choice. You can do like smaller ones but I'm thinking the bigger this time. So we're gonna go a little bit bigger. And what I have a piece of batting here, and then I have the front fabric. So I tell you, I picked a color that totally matches what we're doing because I'm having a hard time seeing this color, y'all. I'm having a hard time seeing this color. I'm like, where are you at? I don't see you. But I'm just slowly moving it across. You try to move at the same speed when you're doing this. Try to move at the same speed. I know I have it over here somewhere. There it is. I'm having problems seeing where I've already stitched because it's around the same color as what we have on here. So I'm like, no. But you try not to stitch where you've already stitched. If you do, it's okay, it happens. But you try not to. So we're doing a big meander on here. We're doing a big one, so. And with the smaller pieces, you can just keep turning. Just don't stitch your finger there. Okay. All right. So that one is done. So here we go, guys. And you can see the back stitch. I just did a big meander. On there. So let's go ahead and do the, this one, like I said, when you do a bigger one, doesn't take long at all. You can do the smaller one and it takes a little bit longer. So, but I want to make sure we get the handbag done. So we're going a little bit bigger, and I like the bigger one. I like the bigger, especially on a handbag, because like I said, you're already stitching so much on that handbag anyways. So we just go a little bit bigger on there. So a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and we're going to do the exact same thing on this one. Start in a corner, work your way out, do that big stitch there. So, and it works out okay. So let's keep the stitching. And we're going to keep working with the variegated thread today, because we're going to have to make handles for the bag. So we'll be using that stitch with the handles. And of course, we're going to use my favorite stitch, the double blanket stitch. My favorite stitch, y'all. That is my favorite one. You got to have some fun with it. But it just works. It just works, y'all. And you can do this without quilting it. You don't have to quilt it, but it helps, I don't know, it helps the batting and the fabric stay together. So. Tell you, that thread is all the same color as everything I'm looking at, and I'm like, I'm going blind trying to see the thread, y'all. Going blind trying to see that thread. Okay, stop. Okay, so we got both these done. So back over here, y'all. Back over here. So this one is all quilted too, as you can see. Let's go back there. Let's get this going. So we're gonna turn back this way. Yeah, we keep turning. Turning. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Thanks for the follows. So if y'all are just joining, we are making a quilted handbag this morning, y'all. We are making a quilted handbag. So we got the front all quilted. We got the back all quilted. Thanks for the follow, y'all. Thanks for the follow. So now what we're going to do is I always add a little bit of extra batting on the side. That way I can try and get close to the sides when I'm quilting as I can. So what we're going to do now, good morning, Pearl. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and we're going to trim. We're going to trim around each side of this. So let's go ahead and do some trimming. I'm going to move y'all over here. And don't forget your coffee, y'all. Get your coffee. Drink some coffee this morning. All right, Miss Lisa, I will yak at you later. I probably need to give y'all a call today. We haven't chatted in a few days, so maybe I'll call y'all this morning. Okay, so what we're going to do is, get your ruler out. And I'm going to get my smaller rotary, because I got a bigger one to go through multiple layers. So I'm going to get the smaller one out. Smaller one. Oh, there you are. There you are. We'll get the smaller one out. All right, we'll do. So that way it'll, this one works. And I kind of like this one. I don't know if y'all seen one of these or not, But what happens is that you don't have an up or down. So what happens is when you're using this ruler or this rotary cutter, it pushes down. So when you push down on it is when it pops it out. So see, but yet it's not out now. You got to push down on it. So kind of cool. I don't know. I hadn't seen one of those, and I kind of like it, especially when if you have little ones running around. It works out really well. So okay, so we're gonna get these trimmed. Trim, and oh my gosh, y'all! And we have a new square to try too. I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and she was explaining how to do a new square. So we have a new square to try. If we have time this week, sometime we'll do it. Otherwise, maybe we'll add quilt squares next week. So it's kind of cool. It's done with a 10-inch square and a 5-inch square, and that 5-inch square is cut with like pink and shears, or I guess they have a thing that'll go on your rotary for to make it like that too. So we may have a little fun. So it's always fun when we have new squares out, right? Always fun when we have new squares. Okay, so here's this one. There's that one trimmed. So now let's grab this one. We're going to get this one all trimmed. Variegated thread was a good choice. I know. I like the variegated thread. I know. It's fun, though. It is fun. So we're going to trim this. And y'all, I make these up as I go. Okay. Get that one. That one. I thought there was, Cynthia. So I thought there was. She's saying that there's a decorative blade for the rotary cutter. So have you ever tried it? Does it actually work? I always like to know if these things work, y'all. So because you can just use the pink and shears, and those work really well. Okay, so now we have this. So our next step is, now that we have these, because these, you got one that makes holes in. Oh, wow. Very cool, Grace. Oh, okay, got you. We may have to try it. I don't know. We'll see. One day, if I ever see it, maybe I'll try it. And we can try it. We can try it on here, y'all. Because I like to try things out with y'all, too. So what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich this together. So we have, and just, I'm going to come this way. That way y'all can see what we're doing. So we have, it's for crochet around a fleece. Oh, well, isn't that a cool thing? We may have to try that. We might have to, yes, I can crochet. So we might have to do a crochet around a fleece blanket or around a blanket. I'm game. We can try it. You know me, I'm always game to try something. You have one of those too, Shannon? Okay, so we have this one. Now what we want to do is we're going to sandwich this one, because right side up. We're not going to stitch the top. We're not going to stitch that top. So we're going to sandwich this like this. And then what we're going to do is we are going to clip. Where's my clip? So then we're going to clip around here. And remember, you have a curved side and you got a flat side on these clips, y'all. You have a curved side and a flat. Yes, I do, Grace. I do crochet. I have crochet sitting by my chair. I like to do, maybe we'll do crochet one day. I like to do the, I can show y'all how to do the dishcloth, but you use 2 pieces of yarn, y'all. You use 2 pieces of yarn when you make those dishcloths. So you use like a crunchy yarn, a scrunchy, I think it's called scrunchy yarn. You use the scrunchy yarn, and then you use the cotton yarn. So maybe we might have to, you crochet too. I learned when I was like 8 years old, right, Shannon? So I did too. So fun fact for me. fun fact for me is I learned how to crochet from watching my mom. So my mom proceeded to tell me that I crochet backwards, We're going to have to trim. Hold on, let me trim this right. It's not exactly even, so we're going to trim that off just a little bit. But she said that I crochet backwards. She goes, weird thing is she goes, it turns out right. But she said that I crochet backwards because you know how you actually are supposed to crochet through the top when you're crocheting? I actually crochet through the bottom. Do you do the corner to corner dishcloths? I don't know what those are, Cynthia. I do not know what those are. Now I lost what the top is here. Where's the top? Okay, that's the top. You'll have to let me know what those are. We all crochet different, and that's okay. Yeah, you learned under first. You know, I figure as long as it turns out, it's okay. I used to make the pillow dolls for the nieces, and now that I have all these granddaughters, I may have to do a pillow dolls for the granddaughters. I may have to do pillow dolls for the granddaughters. I don't know. We'll see what happens. My husband used to use the pillow dolls as hat racks. Used to use the pillow dolls as hat rack. It's kind of funny. It was kind of funny. My mom's like, he puts hats on all these pillow dolls, but he's like, it works. It works. So, okay. So we have pinned all the way around this. So this is the top of the bag. So let me make sure. Yes, this is the top of the bag. So now what we're going to do is we'll stitch all the way around this, but we're going to get a couple other things ready too. So inside of the bag, how cool is this fabric, y'all? How cool is that fabric? So what we're going to do is we have the lining of the bag. So we have that lining of the bag, but we're adding pockets. So when you add pockets, there's an easy way to add pockets, and I'm going to show y'all how we add these pockets. So it's going to be cool, and it'll be easy. So let's turn y'all back here so you can see what we're going to do here. I'm going to turn you back here. So we have this bag. I want to make sure that I have this correctly. So we have that correct. So what we need to do is we're going to take, here's the pocket. Here is the pocket. And I'm thinking, let's see. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip it this way, flip it that way, and then we're going to stitch across here. We're going to stitch across here and then fold it back this way. I want to make sure that I have it. Go down a little bit. We're going to go down a little bit. Put it right there. And I'm going to clip that right there because we're going to just stitch across that and then fold it. We're going to stitch across that and fold it back. So I'm going to put clips here. Put the clips. And I'm putting it on the wrong side. Y'all see what I'm doing? Y'all were going to let me do that. I need to turn it around this way. Because we want the pockets on this side. We want the pockets on the right side. Pockets on the right side, Carrie. Pockets on the right side, Carrie. Okay, so we're going to put that one there. You want to leave room because you want this at the bottom. You want it when you're stitching in there. So, okay, so we're going to have it upside down. So right sides together. We're going to clip this here and clip this over here. And we'll do the same thing, and we're going to grab the other piece and we're going to line it up exactly on the same spot. Because you want the pockets the same. Okay, so there's that one. So now we're going to grab this piece of fabric. We're going to line it up here. Line it up. So this is how I end up getting them at the exact same spot. So then we're going to turn it this way. We're going to line it up exactly where I have this other one here. And then clip it on there too. Because we got to do a pocket on both sides. We're going to do a pocket on both sides. You said you worked. I do work backwards, Cynthia. I do work backwards. There's no telling what I'm liable to do. There is no telling what I'm liable to do, y'all. No telling. Okay, so there is that one clipped. So now we come this way. And we put a clip on this side. So now what we're going to have to do is we're going to go over to the sewing machine. And we are going to, so we have it this way. We're going to stitch down the bottom. And we want to make sure what I'm going to do is to make sure that we actually stitch down the right bottom, because we don't want to get over to the sewing machine and then be like, which way's up? Which way's up? So I'm thinking what we're going to do is I'm going to put a clip across the bottom where we're going to stitch. I'm going to put a clip across the bottom where we're going to stitch, just to make sure that we actually clip, or that we actually stitch the right spot. We actually stitch that right spot. So I'm going to put this one here. And grab 2 clips here. So we're going to stitch across this bottom. Stitch across this bottom here. Okay, so let's go over. You know what? That is not going to work. You're a knucklehead, Carrie. You are a complete knucklehead. Because if I do that, then the pockets aren't going to be open. Glad I just thought about that. That is totally not going to work. I am a knucklehead. I disregard what I just said, y'all. Totally disregard what I just said, because if I do that, because I'm sitting there thinking, oh, we could just do that. No, we cannot do that, because if we do that, we're going to fold it over and then we're not going to have pockets. So we are making a quilted handbag. We are making a quilted handbag. So I was going to add pockets that way. Okay, just, yeah, delete that one out of your brain. Delete that one out of your brain. I have actually started a quilt with 5-inch blocks. Awesome, Pearl. Awesome. So, yeah, we're making a quilted handbag today. It's kind of cool. I promise you, sneak peek. These are the colors inside. It's kind of cool. Anyways, we were adding pockets. Let's try this again. Let's try this again, because we are going to, you know what? I'm almost thinking, you know what we could do is have a pocket. Let's do a pocket on one side and not a pocket on the other side. How about that? How about we do that? Your brain is etch a sketch anyways. Fun. We're going to do a pocket on one side. We're going to do a pocket on one side. So we're going to stitch across this. Okay, so we're going to take all this over there. I apologize, y'all. Yeah, part of sewing, y'all. Part of sewing. So we're going to take this back over to the sewing machine. I don't know what I was thinking. Thankfully, I thought about that before we sewed. Because that would have been bad. That would have been bad. You over here. That would have been very bad if I would have sewed that. And then we'd be like, well, here comes the seam ripper, y'all. Here comes, I had enough seam ripping this weekend. That was not fun. So thank you. Okay. First thing we got to do is we got to switch out this foot. For a regular foot. So this is what happens when I sew by the seat of my, or we fly by the seat of our pants here, y'all. Like, I don't have a pattern. I'm just thinking these things up as I go. That was one thing they asked me this weekend on that podcast. They're like, what patterns do you use? And I'm like, I really don't. I kind of do my own thing. So we're going to undo that. Get out of there. There. Okay. So now we're going to take this piece. I tell you, I am so glad. That was scary. That was a little scary, y'all. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to stitch it across, and then we're going to unfold it and stitch it down. So we're going to take and go. I need my starting and stopping squares. Y'all. Okay. And we're going to be adding a zipper. I'm trying to think. We need to do this a little differently, don't we? Because we need to add the zipper. Well, first thing we got to do is add the pocket. We got to add the pocket here. Oh, what did I do here? Okay. So there's a lining. There's that. Oh, I lost my pocket. Okay. And y'all may have to help me with the zipper. I am not a queen zipper maker here. Okay, so we're going to stitch across the top. Then we're going to go back over there because I completely completely almost forgot. It's definitely Monday, y'all. Definitely Monday, y'all. So, okay. There's that. There is that. Explain the start and stop squares. So start and stop squares. So I use these so because I don't know if you've ever noticed when you're sewing like your fabric together, it like sometimes it'll like bunch when you're starting. So this eliminates that process. So you actually start with this and then just keep pushing your piece of fabric through there. So it eliminates the bunch at the start. So now we're going to take this. We're going to turn it this way. Turn it this way, and then I'm going to flip that to the bottom. I'm going to do a stitch across the top of here. Okay, there's that one. There is that one. Okay, so we only want one of these. So that was scary. So I'm going to throw those back over there because zipper. I almost forgot the zipper, y'all. I almost forgot the zipper. That had been bad. That had been bad. Okay. So what we need to do is pull that down like that. So we are going to actually add pockets. Shall we do 3 pockets? What do you think? 3 pockets or just do 2 pockets? I mean, we could do either one. We could do either one. Because we did 2 big ones. You can have 2 big pockets. 2 pockets. We're going to do 2 pockets. We're going to do 2 pockets. Okay. What I'm going to do is right down the middle of this, I am going to sew. And when you get to the end, you want to do a back stitch. You want to do a back stitch because you end up putting things in this pocket, and sometimes it'll, so I back stitch a couple times there. And then, so we now have a pocket in the middle. So when we sew the actual sides together, it'll actually all stitch together, and then you'll have those 2 pockets on the inside. Then you'll have the 2 pockets on the inside. So, okay, let's go back, and we're going to add the zipper, y'all. We're going to add the zipper, but I'm thinking, I know on some of the zippers I've seen, they have like a starter and a stop on the side of it. So with the starter and a stop, it makes it a little easier when you're adding it in because it's like the zipper is in the middle and it's not scrunched on the side. So I'm thinking we're going to do that. And I know I'm probably confusing it. Oh my gosh, how cool is that? Oh my gosh, that was cool. That was, okay. That was so cool. A masquerade. Y'all on YT, they just put a masquerade on my face. That was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. Okay. So we're going back this way, y'all. Going back this way. Okay. So thank you. Okay. Turn you that way. Oh, it was kind of cool. Yeah, that was cool. I had never seen that one, Amy. I had never seen that. That is cool. Okay, so this is upside down, but this is the pocket that we added. Oh my gosh, how cool. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so you used that one on Donna. Very cool. Okay, so we have the pocket in here. So now what we need to do is unclip this, but we need to do the zipper. So on the zipper, and I'm thinking I'm not good at zippers, y'all. See, y'all got me out of my comfort zone. Y'all completely got me out of my comfort zone on this one, y'all. Y'all have completely got me out of my comfort zone. Because thinking, because we need to add I've seen where somebody added like a piece of fabric onto both sides. Fabric right side up, zipper facing down, zipper pull to the left. Cynthia, you're awesome. Hi, you are awesome. Sew it down first, then cut the middle. Sew it down first and then sew. Okay, but we want to add a piece of fabric on the outside. That way, because otherwise you have the bunch. Or do we want to add the pot? Well, I don't know. See, y'all, I'm telling you, see what happens is you get me out of my comfort zone. You get me completely out of my comfort zone, y'all. This is what happens. Because I'm thinking we need to add, because that's that. You're good. Grace, I'm like, the fabric for the zipper is for the start and stop for the zipper pull. Yes. Yeah. So you know how on some of the, I don't have a zipper or anything in front of me. On some of the zipper things, they have like a start and stop. That way you don't have the bunch. So I'm thinking I'm going to add that to the zipper. What do you think? Like I said, y'all, you got me completely out of my comfort zone. See what happens? We are going to take, thinking, I'm going to figure this out. Because how is that done? I'm trying to think in my head. Because I think what we need to do is we need to sew this way and come over this way. And then it would have a start and a stop. Yeah, I think I'm right. And then the same on the other side. Okay. I'm showing you what make like a bias. So yeah, so you have the start. So I'm thinking what we do is we add a piece of fabric this way and then fold it back over this way. That way it gives it a starter and a stop. Am I thinking right? Guys? Fold in half, then fold again. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. All right. Because I'm like, okay, I'm thinking we need to do that. So, but we need it to be, so we're going to go there, and I'm going to have to cut that zipper. So we're going to put, I'm going to put a mark where I'm going to put these. So we're going to put one, here because I want it kind of to the inside. I'm going to put one here. I'm going to come over to this side. We're going to put one here. Okay. We're going over to the sewing machine. We're going to try this. I'm hoping this works, y'all. Like I said, I am not a zipper person, y'all. So, all right. Back to the sewing machine. Y'all get to see me out of my comfort zone. Y'all get to completely see me out of my comfort zone. Okay. So that one, there we go. So what we're going to do, so I put a mark on the zippers. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this. I don't think I need it that long, so we're going to cut that off. I'm going to take this right here like this. I'm going to sew across that right there. I have my starters and my stops. So this is where sometimes the foot would be a good thing because I could actually. Turn you back around. I'm going to sew back over that again. Sew back over that again. So then if I fold it back that way, then it gives me my start and stop, right? Then it gives me my start and stop, and then I'll do a stitch across the top of that. So y'all are helping me out here. Y'all are helping me out. Okay, so there. Good morning, good morning. Okay, so, right? And then when we stitch on the fabric and fold it over, it'll be good, right? I'm thinking right. I think you're right. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. We're going to find out. We are going to find out. 1.5 by 2, then fold in half, then fold again. See, this is where, guys, instructions. I am a visual person, so FYI, so I have dyslexia, so, and my dyslexia plays havoc on me. My dyslexia plays havoc on me, y'all. So when it comes to instructions, not very good, so I apologize. Okay, so we're going to go that way. Sew across, turn again, sew across. Come down this way. We're gonna find out if this works. We're gonna find out. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I'm thinking it's gonna work. I am thinking it's gonna work. Okay. Oh, it can definitely be a struggle at times. Do the same to the back side, then sew. Trial and error, yes. See, y'all get to do trial and error with me. Y'all get to do trial and error with me. Okay, but I think we're okay. I think we're okay because we have the start and the stop. And then that's why, and that'll be the inside of the bag. Good morning, Deidre. That'll be the inside of the bag. So I think we're okay. I think we're okay, y'all. I'm thinking we're okay. Okay, so, all right, now we need to add the fabric. So the top fabric goes to the top, and then the back fabric goes to the back side, if I'm thinking correctly. So if I'm thinking correctly, hold on, I'm going to grab the fabric because front, back. Okay, so if I am thinking correctly, so we need to sew the front fabric. So here's the front fabric. And then on there, so we put that there, and then we put the backing fabric on top of that. Am I thinking correctly, guys? So we have the front fabric, I put the zipper down, and then I put the backing fabric on top of that down, right? And then it folds over. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Thanks for the follows. I appreciate it. Y'all are helping me here. So, like I said, I am good. And then you add zippers into it. And then it's like, okay, Francis, thank you. Because this will go this way. And I should get clips. Let me get clips because thinking. See, y'all help me. Okay, there is that. So we're going to move you this way a little bit. I'm going to clip that down. Clip that down. We'll get it clipped. That way it stays, and make sure that we're sewing that zipper there. Make sure we're sewing the zipper in there. And then we'll turn it over and then sew the other side. Sew the other side. And what I'll do is I'll mark right here. I'm going to put another clip here really close. That way I know where that zipper's at, because we're going to have to move that zipper in order to keep stitching. So I'm going to put another one really close right there. That way we know exactly where that zipper's at. So I'm going to clip these together. Clip these together. You can use double-sided tape to hold the zipper. Oh, I didn't even think about that, Pearl. We may have to acquire some double-sided tape, y'all. We may have to acquire some double-sided tape. This one flip. See, this is what happens when y'all ask for things that I'm not a genius at. So, of course, I'm not a genius at anything. Don't get me wrong. I am not a genius at anything here. Okay, so that one clipped. This one clipped. I'm going to fold that down. Okay. So now we should be stitching across the top. And like I said, I put an extra one here. That way we know where that zipper's at, because we'll sew to here and then we'll move that zipper back. And then that way we can continue stitching. That way we can continue stitching here. Just keep a stitching. Just keep a stitching. And don't stitch the zipper. I'm wondering, do I have, you know what? I have my zipper foot. Why don't I use my zipper foot? I have my zipper foot. So I think if we use the zipper foot, it should be good. We want, no, we want it that side. Okay, so now we're gonna take that off. I'm gonna move that zipper. That way we can continue on down. And to think, we almost completely messed this one up. I have faith this is gonna work. I have faith. Okay. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. This actually worked. So now we want to do a stitch across the top of that one. Do a stitch across the top of this one here. Stitch that down. 1, 2. I'm thinking we want to move you to the other side there, Hugh. So my zipper foot gives you the option to load on either side. So, okay, we're going to load you on that side. so we now have half of it done. Y'all, hey, we're doing this together, y'all. We are doing this together. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your help. Okay, so we now have that. So now what we need to do is we need to do the other side. So the other side, what we're going to do is go that way, go that way. So now we need to do, now I got myself thinking. So this side, how did I do that? This side goes down on here. So line that up there. And then this one, and we need to make sure that we get that. Right side, no, right side down, because that's going to flip over. Right side down. So now we're going to clip these up top. Clip these up top here. Right side down. Okay, thank you, Francis. I had to think. I'm like, right side down. Is that going to flip over? Right side up. See, this is why we're a team, y'all. This is why we're a team. So, thank you for your help. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to clip this one. We're going to go through and stitch this one. Zippers are cool, but they can be very intimidating. Do you have your own? I don't. Do I need the iron? Do I need the iron? I can turn the iron on. Go up this way. And we got to remember that that zipper is right there, because we're going to have to move that zipper over. The press before you. Oh, well, I've already done the other one. Does it matter? We're going to add an extra one there. That way we move that zipper. So, okay. So now let's go here. We want to go to the other side. We want to go to the other side. So on this, so my zipper foot, it has both sides. So I can load it on either side that I want here. So load it to the other side, depending on what side of zipper you're doing. It's kind of cool. It just rides right on the side of your zipper. That way you don't sew your zipper. now we'll flip it back around. That side that way. That side that way. Stitch this down. Okay. Stay there. Okay. We have a zipper. Oh, we have a puzzle. I almost got in trouble, y'all. Stay there. No. Got it. Yay. Yes, and Francis, thank you for your help. Thank you for your help. That is phenomenal. Okay. So next thing we got to do is we got to sew it together this way. So we have our pocket and we actually sewed the pocket right. We actually sewed the pocket right. So next thing we got to do is we got to sandwich this all together. And we got to leave an opening. We have to leave an opening on the lining. We got to leave an opening. Right, Amy? Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Y'all, this is why we love our lives. This is why we love our lives, because I learn from y'all. You learn from me. This is an awesome sewing community, and we love each other's help. Next time, try adding a zipper panel. Salty, I'll have to try that. Y'all. So if they do the zipper panel, so you add like a lining all the way around it with like a 2-inch strip, right? Is that what you're talking about? Need handles first. Thank you, Donna. We do need handles first. We do need handles first. You were right. Trying to think. That I probably. I'm trying to think because I'm thinking we're going to have to do side handles because. Oh, got you. Okay, cool. Thanks for the pointers. Thanks for the pointers. Yes, we are going to do box corners, Francis. But handles. I'm thinking on the handles, y'all. We're going to do these a little different. We're going to do these a little different. Let's get the handles. Handles, y'all. Handles. Let's create the handles first. We're going to create these handles first because you're right. We need to add the handles before we sew this together. Thank you, Pearl, because we would have, y'all are saving me today. I don't know what's wrong with me today. What's wrong with me today? So I have a 3-inch strip. And then I have a 1, you can add them to the outside just below the zipper. And that's kind of what I was thinking. Let me make the handles and then you guys can have, it is Monday, Mandy. It is Monday. I'm telling you. Fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 1.5-inch batting strip. I'm going to put it right in the middle of this. And then I'm going to pull fabric to the inside, and we're gonna run a stitch down the middle of this. We are gonna run a stitch down the middle of this. And we're gonna use my favorite stitch. We're gonna use my favorite stitch. Yes, we are working through. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. So we're gonna go do the double blanket stitch, y'all. We're going to add this is how I like to make candles. It's easy. It's a little bit easy. So like I said, we have a 3-inch strip, and then we have a 1.5-inch strip of the batting in the middle. So then I'm kind of sandwiching the fabric around that. Yes, see, we all learn new things, Miss Amy. We all learn new things. So then what we're going to do is we're going to remove that foot. We're going to remove that foot. Where'd my other foot go? Come back here. Okay, sandwich that together. And I'm thinking we need a variegated thread bobbin, y'all. We need a variegated thread bobbin because I want that on the bottom too. I want that on the bottom too. I need an empty bobbin. I need an empty bobbin. Or close to an empty bobbin. Okay, we're going to wind a bobbin right quick. We are going to wind a bobbin right quick. Because I want the same color thread for the top and the bottom. Okay. Now we're winding about it. Well, Maddie, it is, so the sewing machine, can you see it here? I don't know if you can see it. I have to be careful because if I say, thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Amy. Because if I say those things, I end up getting restrictions, and I try not to get restrictions because if I get restrictions, then I can't. Thank you. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. And Amy, I'm glad you liked your stuff. I'm glad you liked your stuff. Okay. So we now have a bobbin. That way we'll have the same on the top and the bottom here. The top and the bottom. Okay. Get you in there. Okay. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. We got the right foot on there. And we have the batting. And I've got the double blanket stitch, and I got it up to 7 millimeters. I'm going to fold this across, and we're going to do that. And we're going to rethread the machine. I think I need to start over today. All I got to say is I am glad that y'all are helping me along because I'm kind of afraid what's going to happen at work if this is what's happening today. So, but it'll be okay. Okay. So we are going to start stitching here. So we are going to run this down the middle. And it covers up that seam there. So now we're going to get this folded all the way down. And you can do strips without batting and stuff in them, but it just gives it, I don't know, it makes them more comfortable. So you can do it however you like on there. I just like to add the batting, and sometimes I quilted. Sometimes I've actually, you know how we went and meandered the front and the back. I've actually did the same thing to the strips. So just all in how you want to do it. Trim that. That turned out pretty cool. That turned out pretty cool. Kind of liking the handle. I like the fabric. The fabric's kind of fun. Let's go ahead and do the other one. Good morning, Shirley. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Prinny. How are you? Very cool. Okay. So again, 3-inch strip, and then we have a 1.5-inch strip of batting, and then I'm centering that batting, and then I'm just folding the sides in, just raw edges, kind of touching overlapping a little bit, and then you take that double blanket stitch and you stitch over the top. That eliminates that raw edge there. You kind of serging the top of it, there, y'all. Okay. And thanks for hanging out this morning. The kind of hectic morning. So thanks for the follow. Thank you for the follow, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Okay. Just keep the stitching. This is turning out. It'll turn out. I have faith. Between all of us, y'all. Between all of us, we're going to make it work. We are going to make it work here. We're a team. We are a team, y'all. We are a team. Okay. We'll get this all stitched out, and then we'll figure out how to add the handles. Then we will figure out how to add the handles with y'all's help, of course. Because I have an idea, but we'll see what y'all's idea is. We'll see what y'all's idea is on here. Okay. That one off. Okay. So we now have handles, y'all. I kind of like the handles. What do you think? The handles, and you see it got rid of the raw edge. It got rid of that raw edge on there. So kind of cool. Okay. Again, thank you for stopping me before we went before the handles were done. So, okay. So handles. So how are we going to do this, y'all? Thank you, Francis. Thank you. So how are we going to do this? Because what I was kind of thinking, I don't know, but y'all tell me. So what I was thinking, I'm going to turn y'all this way. We're going to turn this way. So what I was thinking of doing is actually, so we have the bag. We have the bag like this. What I was thinking about doing is doing this like this, and then doing that blanket stitch around it, like in a square kind of. What do you guys think? And then that way we have the handle there. Yes? Okay. All right. That was, and it kind of cool. You add the handle to the outside, and that double blanket stitch kind of secures it on there. So let me we need to get it even on both sides. So I'm going to zip that up. Kind of like in a zipper. That would work. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. We're going to do that. So I'm going to pin this on here. I know y'all can't see it, and I'm sorry that you cannot see it. I want to make sure that we have it correct here. We have it correct. So I'm kind of making it on both sides here. Doom, doom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a needle. You know, the lovely things that we hate to use. Lovely things that I hate to use. Good morning, Ma. Good morning, Ma. We want to make sure that we're not sewing through the lining. I have the lining when we don't want to sew through the lining. Yes, the pins. Those lovely pins, Miss Amy. The lovely pins. Okay, so. And before I continue on, we're going to make sure that we're in agreement here. So I'm thinking that way, right? So we'll sew that one. So I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll sew this one, and then we'll pin the other one and sew it. And I think I have this one up just a little bit too far. Let me come back down some. Come back down some. Okay, so we will stitch around this. You like this idea? Okay, so hopefully, y'all, hopefully. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come this way. I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll stitch the bottom first. Stitch the bottom first. I'll put you right there. I'm going to turn you. Turn you again. Turn you again. Just keep it turning. Just keep it turning. Okay, so that one's secured. Actually looks kind of cool, y'all. Actually looks kind of cool. So now we'll come over here. I'm going to unpin that one. Pin you there. We're going to stitch across the bottom on this one. See, this is what happens when we make things and we go with the seat of our pants and they're like, all right, what are we doing? I don't know. We're going to figure it out though, y'all. We're going to figure it out. Okay, stop there. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like, y'all. Because kind of, y'all, check that out. I kind of like the way it looks. I kind of liking the way it looks. Kind of liking the way it looks. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. So now we need to get, so I'm thinking the way we're going to do this is we're going to lay it out this way. We're going to lay it that way. I'm going to pull it that way. And then we're going to grab the other handle. What did I do with the other handle? Right there. So now we need to come this way. Nope, that way. Almost went the wrong way, y'all. Almost went the wrong way. Thinking we're going to pin you right there. Nope. We don't want the lining. We do not want the lining there, guys. Okay, let's try this again. No lining. No lining. We'll line it up with the other one. Come down a little bit. Okay, there's that one. Make sure we have it correct here. Now we're going to do the same thing. This one, line it up right there. Okay, making sure nobody's stopping me here. Making sure nobody's stopping me. I think we're doing okay, y'all. I think we're doing okay. Okay, now we're going to turn this way. No lining there. No lining. We're going to unpin. We good, guys? Are we good? Keep going. Just keep a stitching. Just keep a stitching. Just keep a stitching. Okay, so we're going to stitch across this way. Okay, we're going to turn this way. Stop there. Turn this way. Turn this way. Okay, trim that. Okay. Now we got the other one. Now we have the other one. So we're going to take that off. So this is what's fun about that double blanket stitch, y'all. You can have a raw edge and just eliminate that raw edge with that stitch. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Turn. I almost messed up. Almost messed up. Make sure I didn't mess it. We almost messed up there. Almost. Okay. All right. We have handles now. We have handles. Okay. That was close. That was close, y'all. Okay. The handles are cute. The handles are cute. Yes. Okay. So now, okay. Back to this again. Back to this. And we're going to go this way. And y'all. We ouch. Ah, no. We sewed a handle, y'all. We sewed a handle. Where is my seam ripper? I think my seam ripper is where. One of those days, but I guess 1 out of 4 is not bad. It's okay. 1 out of 4 is not bad. So we'll seam rip this right quick. And of course, it had to be a stitch that there's a lot of stitches in. It's either that or I'm cutting that fabric out of it. What am I? Oh, wrong one, you knucklehead. Wrong one. I'm going to have to restitch that one. I'm about to give up, y'all. I'm liking the bag, but I'm not liking that I'm messing up. This is bad. Bad. But I guess it shows, you know, none of us are perfect. Of course, I never say that I'm perfect, so. I'm not giving up, Miss Francis. I sewed the lining. Only on one though. So we're gonna think about the positive side of this. That it's only one side, so we're just gonna get the seam ripper out. We're gonna fix this. It's okay. So how was everybody's weekend while we're seam wrapping? That's why we have seam rippers, Francis. That you're right. That is exactly why we have seam rippers. Exactly why. So we were on a roll too. We were doing good. But that's okay. Learning experience, y'all. If you happen to do this and it messes up, just get that seam ripper out. Grab your cup of coffee. Have a cup of coffee. Yay. Okay. Woo! We did it. We got it out of there. Got it out. That didn't take too long. Okay. So now we just got to go sew that handle again. And we're going to sew both of these handles. I'm going to put you right there. So we're going to stitch this. Make sure that we have the pockets out of the way. Lining is out of the way. That'd be very bad if you went and stitched the lining again. Lining out of the way. I'm double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking. Okay, and I accidentally seam ripped the wrong one first, so we're going to go stitch this one again. Okay, let's trim the threads, and then we'll go back to sewing the bag together again. Go back to sewing the bag together again. Okay, we got this. I got faith. We got this. We have got this. There we go. Like I said, I'm going to think positive. We only did it on one corner. We only did it on one corner. Okay, replay. Fun. Okay, so now we go and this way. Here we go. Let's try this again, y'all. Let's try this again. Okay, so, and we need to remember to leave an opening at the bottom. We need to remember to leave an opening at the bottom and make sure that my pocket stays that way. Pockets, pockets, pockets. Pockets, pockets, pockets. So we're going to clip, 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 clip. I think I'm going to grab my pen and mark a spot. That way we know that we need to leave an opening there, y'all. Leave an opening there. Make sure the zipper is, ooh. Make sure the zipper is open. Good catch. Zipper open. Zipper's open. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. As y'all see, I don't work with zippers very often. Don't work with zippers very often. Hey, we got to have fun with it, right? We got to have fun with it. Fun, fun. Most of the zippers I do, y'all, I hate to say, are in the hoop. If you doing the embroidery designs in the hoop and making the bags that way, I guess that's maybe cheating. I call it using my resources. I call it using my resources. You got to be able to absolutely, Shannon, absolutely. I am not a serious person. I am not a serious person. So I like to have fun. I like to have fun. Anybody new to me? So I just bought some zippers. They are awesome. Okay, cool. I will check that out, Carrie. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Anybody new to me? So we have fun sewing Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning. The projects we do, y'all pick. The projects we do, y'all pick. So like I said, y'all decided we were doing a quilted handbag today. We're doing a quilted handbag today. Tomorrow, see, and I'm all of a sudden drawing a blank of what our schedule is this week. So we have, what are we doing tomorrow? I knew we're doing double-sided ornaments one day. We're making a rope Christmas tree on Friday. What are we doing Tuesday? What are we doing tomorrow? What are we doing tomorrow? I'm trying to think. Yeah, we have a lot of fun, Francis. We have a lot of fun. So, and y'all get to choose. Y'all get to choose. So, anything that you want to do a live on, regardless whether I've done it or not, we'll do it. So last week we did a reverse applique sweatshirt. Oh my gosh, that was fun. That was fun. So mug rugs. Thank you, Pearl. Thank you, Pearl. We're doing mug rugs in the sewing machine because we did mug rugs in the embroidery machine. So this time we're going to do mug rugs in the with the sewing machine. That way, just in case you don't have an embroidery machine, I can show you all how you can do mug rugs in the sewing machine. You don't have to have an embroidery machine. And I have to tell you, I was excited this weekend. So my kids came and visited, and I was able to show my granddaughter how to make a mug rug in the embroidery machine. She had so much fun. She had so much fun. I should have took pictures. I should have took pictures. Did I take pictures? No. So next time I'll have to take pictures. So she used to sew with me when she was young. I've got a video of her when she was 3 years old quilting. She's just quilting along. She's like da, 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 singing her song, and she got done to the end, and she's like, finished. It was the cutest little thing. I still have the video. It was the cutest little thing. Anyways, okay. So we have it all pinned. We need to make sure that we leave an opening down here. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a bunch of clips, because I'm just gonna put a bunch of clips here. That way I'll be like, why do I have so many clips there? Because I have so many clips there because we are leaving that open. Okay, so we're gonna leave that open. Shannon, I have to say, I've got 5 grandkids, and so far I've got one. So far I've got one that loves to sew, but we may get the other ones once they get a little older. So okay, so now we're gonna stitch this around. We're gonna change that stitch back to a regular stitch. Back to a regular stitch. And zipper's open. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. So zipper is open. So we're going to turn back this way. And now we're going to go ahead and stitch around. We're going to leave the opening on the bottom of the lining. That way we are able to turn it inside out. So, and I have my pockets. Good. So here we go, guys. Here we go. So we have the lining one way. We have the bag the other way. And we're going to make box corners, though. We're going to box these corners before we turn it. Turn it this way. And here I got to remember to not sew it closed. Stop there. Take those off. Come down this way, right there. Don't close the lining up. Turn it this way. You're sending rolling eyes at me? You're sending rolling eyes at me? It's okay. I'm just going to laugh if you send rolling eyes. I'm going to sew over the zippers again, just to give it an extra stitch there. Sew over that zipper again. Okay. So now we need to do those box corners. Box corners, y'all. So on the box corners, you kind of open this up here. Open this up. And on the corners, you make a triangle. And on the triangle, you take and you sew across. So I always use, anytime I'm making a box corner, I use the 4 on my face, or on my plate on my sewing machine. So I'll measure this tip over to the 4 on each corner, on each of those corners. So we're going to go corner here, and I'm going to go over to the 4, over to that 4, and we're going to stitch across. And I'm going to back stitch at the first and end of this one. That way that box corner doesn't come open. Then we'll do the same thing on the other side. You're just opening it up and then making a triangle at the end. And you're going to have, and then we're going to do the same thing of right there at the 4 on that nameplate, or on the face, or on, what do you call it? The plate on your machine. Just make sure that when you do each corner, you're doing each corner exactly the same. You want to make sure each one is exactly the same on there. So we're going to go over to that 4. And just remember to back stitch at the start and stop it there. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on the outside bag. Thanks for the follows. The bigger the corner, the smaller the room in the bag. Correct. Yeah, so if you have a bigger corner, you would have not as, well, it'd be, so the bigger corner, you'd have a bigger box bag, so you'd have a bigger bottom to it. So the bigger the corner, the bigger the bottom. Yeah, the bigger the corner, the bigger bottom. Am I saying that correctly? I think I'm saying that correctly. So Miss Francis might be able to help us on that one, but I'm thinking the bigger the corner, the bigger the bottom. That just sounds funny. Wider and shorter. Okay, thank you, Francis. And thanks for joining, Francis. I think you're new to our lives, right? As I said, I don't remember. Okay, thank you. Okay, so over to the 4, over to the 4, and remember, back stitch at that start and stop there, y'all. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we have that corner, one more corner, y'all. One more corner. Is this the way you were thinking about doing quarters, Francis? I know there's another way where you can cut out like 1.5 inches, 2 inches, depending on how big you want the corner. But this is the way I like to do corners. So over to the 4, back stitch at your beginning. Okay, so now I want to trim these corners off. Now it does. You do them both ways. Yeah, it does end up the same no matter what way you do it. So we're going to trim these corners off before we tone it. Trim this corner off, and it makes it where if you do it this way with the lining and stuff, you don't have to worry about covering those corners. It's what makes the lining fit and not correct, Pearl. Correct. There's that. Okay. Now let's put these extra zipper off. Okay. Here's the true test, y'all. Here's the true test. Now we're gonna turn it. The popple. Y'all, I may order a popple. Would surgeons strengthen them? Probably. Yeah, probably would. That's a good idea. Maybe we'll try serging next time. Maybe we'll try serging next time. I'm excited too, Francis. I am excited too. We're gonna see what this looks like because I love this fabric. I am in love with this fabric. So, all right, here we go, popple. Here we go, popple. Thanks for the follows, y'all. For me, it's easier to cut out first. Okay, yeah, everybody does it a little different. Good. Hey, Suzanne. Okay, so we're getting this turned inside out. Oh, I scared myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did the wrong corner. And I think I may have to, hold on. Because my corner is, this is, thinking. We're gonna have to sew together that lining. Sew together the lining, but I'm thinking I want to fix, because we have a corner we got to fix right quick. We have a corner that didn't get stitched. Didn't get stitched here. Let's fix that. Before we go, make sure. Still. So you always want to check your sides there. You always want to check your sides. Like, is it right? No. Is it right? No. I think if it was going to go wrong this morning, it's gone wrong. That's all I got to say. If it was going to go wrong, it's gone wrong this morning. Okay, seriously, why do you keep... Okay, maybe I'm sewing at the wrong spot. Am I sewing at the wrong... Right there. For some reason or another, it is showing batting. Why are you showing batting? I think... I'm going to come back this way. I think that should fix it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. I'll tell you. Hold on. Work's calling. Hello? You're good. What's up? Okay. Put it on the calendar, please. You're welcome. I thought you had the day off. Okay. All right. Yeah. Put it on the calendar. We have a couple meetings. So. Yep. Go ahead. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and stitch up the bottom here. Nice thing is it's on the inside of the bag, so you really don't see the... I mean, you could hand stitch that if you wanted to, but you don't have to. Okay. All right, so we're going to put that to the inside. So we have our lovely corners. The corners look lovely. Then we have our bag. Now this was a hard bag to make, I'm telling you. I don't know why we made it so hard. I'm not sure why we made it so hard there, but okay. We're going to turn back this way because we're done stitching. We're done stitching. We're going to come back this way. Upside down and upside down. So, okay. So, it worked out okay. It was kind of hard to make. But I think it worked out okay. Pop those corners out. Pop the corners out. Pop the corners out here. Right? Ah! I think it turned out okay. Turned out okay. And y'all, how cute, right? It worked. How cute. How cute. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Yes. A cute bag, right? So all I got to say is, y'all, thank you for all your help. So sometimes I'm learning from y'all. Sometimes you're learning from me. It goes both ways. And I greatly appreciate everything. I appreciate all y'all's support. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Y'all, it makes it lots of fun. Especially when we have such a great community out there of all of our sewers and everything. Thanks for the follow. So, and y'all, we just thought we came up, thank you, Amy. Thank you. We came up with another idea this morning of adding crochet to a blanket. So we're going to have to poke holes down the side of it, and then we're going to crochet down the side of it. So we're going to have, oh my gosh, thank you. I appreciate that. Y'all are awesome. Well, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. We have lots of fun. Like I said, I'm not perfect. Y'all aren't perfect. Nobody's perfect out there. We all have our mishaps, and y'all, we had some mishaps this morning, but did it turn out anyways? It turned out anyways. So the bag that we made, I'm actually shipping this one out today. The bag we made last week, like I said, we didn't even have any mishaps last week with this one. So this is the one we made last week, and we decided we needed zippers to go along with. So y'all, they both turned out to be great bags. So how fun, right? And y'all, all from quilt squares we made. So lots of fun, y'all. So again, thank you for joining the live. Thank you. If y'all want to join, like I said, if y'all are new to me, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning, Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time right now. We don't change time zones. So tomorrow morning, 4:30 in the morning, I think we're making mug rugs in the sewing machine tomorrow. I believe we're making mug rugs in the sewing machine tomorrow. So the mug rugs more than likely are going to be, let me see. These are ones that I'm making in the embroidery machine. How fun is that, right? Anyway, so the ones we're going to be making tomorrow, and we're going to implement some of those. Thanks for the heart me. Thank you for the heart me. So some of those that we're going to write, Amy, y'all, anybody that sews, is she not hilarious? I have her as my backdrop. She's hilarious. So so tomorrow we're going to make mug rugs. So we're going to do an abstract mug rug. I'm loving the abstract. I am in love with the abstract. So so then we have these ones. So but lots of fun. If anybody's wanting one of these, shoot me a message. So I have 2 orders I'm actually shipping out today. The 2 orders I'm shipping out, I have to show y'all. So the so I have, where are they out here? So somebody had ordered, so actually the lady that actually decided, because I had somebody reach out wanting the Grinch bag, and she also wanted the witches. Y'all, look at these witches. I did them a little differently, so they came out kind of cool. I added some different fabric to these. So she ordered 4 of them. So don't, right, Grace? They do look 3D. It is the coolest thing. And I have to say, check this out. It's like they pop out at you. They completely pop out at you. So, and then a chicken one. I have a chicken one to go with the chicken. Y'all remember the chicken quilt? I had to do a chicken one to go with the chicken quilt. So, right? You would never know. So yeah, y'all, anybody that's new to me, these are transfers. So these are transfers. So I get these transfers. I get these transfers printed and then I add them. So you'd never know that they were transfers. So, right? Isn't that cute? I have a couple more of the chickens that I can do. And then also Christmas, y'all. Yeah. So it's so much fun. Everything turned out so good. The bags and thank you, Christy. Thank you. And thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, Gabby. Thanks for all the follows. Y'all, give me a follow. Y'all, I'm on my way to I'm trying to get on up to 10,000. I'm trying because I want to reach out to as much as community as I can and share as much knowledge as I can and gain as much knowledge as I can. I love learning from y'all too. So y'all, fun. Maybe I would have better luck with the quilted mug. Great. Check it out. Thanks, Kelly. Check out tomorrow because we're going to do some transfers tomorrow in the sewing machine. We're going to do transfers in the sewing machine too. So I'm going to show y'all how to make mug roads in that sewing machine and we're going to back it like this. I'm telling y'all, this is the easiest way to back it. So awesome. So, all right. I got to let y'all go again, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning. Thank you for joining. Hit me on the YT too. I am live on both platforms. Thank y'all both for joining. I appreciate both of y'all. Y'all are awesome. Thanks, Pearl. You have a wonderful day too. So thank you. And again, thank you for your help today. And Francis, very nice meeting you. And thank you for your help today. I greatly appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you today. So again, thank y'all, everybody. I will see y'all tomorrow. And y'all, happy Monday. Y'all. Bye, guys.